Cleveland Clinic, Florida provides individualized treatment plans for excellent outcomes of health problems ranging from the most common to the most complex, even in cases considered untreatable by others. Cleveland Clinic, Florida. Every life deserves world-class care.
Yeah, baby, made it to the weekend. What's up, y'all? It is KVJ After the Show Podcast. Yeah. Oh, yeah. Looking forward to some good times this weekend.
I know you said Suits is feeling a little bit under the weather today. What's the matter with him? Was he up all night, getting busy, partying with this new girlfriend? Is he leaving it in the sheets is my question.
Well, I think I was talking to Suits on the elevator yesterday when we were leaving, and he's an instructor at Connecticut School of Broadcasting.
Whoa.
Yeah.
I
so
didn't realize respect was due.
Oh, yeah. So he is Professor Suits.
Where you burning all your energy, Professor Suits?
Well, this kind of creeped up on me yesterday, and I had to teach until 10 p.m. last night, so I kind of was just a bad combo of day for it to get sick like that.
What goes on in a Suits teaching? I would love to see what happened. What do you teach?
And why does it go till 10 p.m.?
Well, it's a night class, so it starts at like 6.
That's what I took back in the day.
All right.
But yeah, no, I was teaching them how to use Adobe Audition.
Oh.
So kind of the behind the scenes side of everything.
Well, you sound great.
I know, right? You can barely tell.
Aw.
For the first time, Virginia doesn't have
I don't have the manliest voice.
Mm-hmm.
How's your love life? Is that going well?
It's going well.
Oh, you walked into the
It was a bad time to come in.
I just like to check on you. Oh, don't cough this direction.
I'll leave you guys be. I don't want to affect anybody.
Okay.
Yeah.
I hope you feel better, Suits.
Feel better, Suits.
Keep laying that pipe. You know he is.
All right, I'm not going to get into
He's got a new girlfriend. He's got a downtown apartment. Suits is a pimp right now.
Shit, he's a professor?
Oh,
He's
no.
a professor at CSB. He is laying that pipe. I guarantee you. And she
think so,
loves
huh?
it. She loves it.
She loves it, huh?
I mean, imagine if I said that about another chick. Oh, my gosh, there'd be 9 articles written.
Well, you didn't. So what are you talking about?
So what are you talking about?
You're right, I did it.
Mm-hmm.
I'm proud of Suits.
Yeah, no, I hope he feels better.
Well, on this movement here, got an email about the Bill Cosby trial that was a heated discussion on today's regular show.
Still so annoyed with that chick that called in.
You are, huh?
I mean, what kind of chick is she, actually?
I don't know. I didn't ask her.
Not a chick that's for chicks.
Not a chick that's for
She's
chicks?
a chick for dicks.
Chick for dicks? That what they call them?
Yeah, that's what I just called them.
Okay. Well, this email says, I got something that people aren't taking into consideration about Bill Cosby's trial. When was Janice Dickinson's memoir written? Was it when Bill Cosby was still untouchable?
Yes.
All the creeps in Hollywood were still getting away with ruining people's lives until recently.
Yes.
And there's no way G-lister in Hollywood circles could ever out someone on that level. It's a shame that people still don't get it. Untouchables were just that, and everyone protected them. Anyone who has gone through what these people have gone through shouldn't be shamed due to their story or change from a memoir written more than a decade ago.
Thank you.
There you go. That's from Ponton.
Oh, it's your boy.
Finally, someone speaking with some clarity on these airwaves.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it is. I would imagine I've never been in the inner workings of a sexual assault trial, but if you don't have physical evidence, I would think it would be very difficult and challenging. And I know because my dad is an attorney, and when he's worked with clients, it's been really tough. I mean, they rehearse a lot, getting their story right and saying, look, you can't, because that's what's going to happen.
Don't waver.
You are going to have an attorney on the other side that's going to try to get you to stumble, to crack, to make it just sound like you don't know what you're talking about. Like, you've got to have every last minute detail line up and make sense.
I would fucking crack on the stand.
Yeah,
on
you
any kind
would.
of trial, if anyone asked me, I would stutter.
You'd melt.
They'd be like, you weren't even a suspect of the murder, but we think you did it.
You feel like you're on trial. I mean, some of these attorneys, and I'm sure that the ones in this trial are of the highest caliber.
Well, that's what he's got now. He fired his whole entire previous legal team and hired Michael Jackson's former lead defender, the guy that got Michael Jackson off with a lot of crazy stuff.
Sure.
So, I mean, this guy knows what he's doing.
These guys are masterful linguists, masterful manipulators. How they talk, what they say. I mean, they'll get you doubting yourself. A really good attorney like that, and they will spin you around. And even if you're telling absolutely the God's honest truth, every last little detail, you get off that stand sometimes and your head's spinning like going, wait, did that really happen? And then that's what they need the jury to hear, is any kind of doubt. And that's why I think it'd be really tough in these cases without the physical evidence.
And you're right, too, about people just being in front of a lawyer and them asking you questions. When I was supposed to go in for that one trial, remember I was supposed to go in and testify about something, that and they were just asking me basic questions. What's your name? I'm like, Jason Lee Pennington. Like, wait, shit, is that my real name? Are they gonna fucking get me now because I lied? Like, it makes people very...
They know where they're going. They're walking you down a path. When they're asking you questions, that's what they're doing. They're leading you down a path to something at the end where you're going to get ambushed. It's like, imagine somebody's just walking you down this dark alley and you know somewhere somebody's about to jump out at you and you don't really know where, and you're telling your story, and then they get to the part like going, okay, so you're telling me that from 300 yards away with your vision at this, you were able to clearly see that this was da-da-da, and you're like,
Answer the question!
Maybe I wasn't.
I don't know.
Did you see it?
I don't know. I got to pee. You know,
Never mind, just went.
you know, and that's what it is. And
I rest, Your Honor.
So it's, gosh, man, for these victims, I don't think any of us have any idea what it's like to have been victimized. Probably the worst thing you could go through. And then to be sitting up there and having someone grill you to make it sound like you're a liar on top of it.
Right.
And to spin you around and to plant doubt in yourself where you're like, I don't know, because you never know, and especially if you were drugged. And I mean, imagine that. I know what it's like for many foggy nights where I've kind of like drugged myself
When
with
I've
some
drugged
booze.
myself.
Yeah, that's right. And I'm trying to recall details. Yeah, what did I do last night? Did I do that? Did I say that? You don't know. And so imagine that with any kind of clarity and sincerity, you're like, you might get off the stand and be like going, wait, did that really happen to me? I mean, you're probably in doubt. Be one of the worst things ever. I couldn't even imagine, what these victims are going through, and not saying in this case, but in any case, so it's one of the toughest things out there that I think it's one of the biggest legal problems that we've got that I think it is to solve going on.
I mean, luckily this time you're hearing from other victims. We didn't get that in the first trial. When it was a hung jury, there weren't 5 other women corroborating the story that had the same experience as Andrea Constand. And one of the ladies that's already taken the stand and is already done with her testimony, she talked about how, she told Bill that she didn't drink. He gave her 2 drinks and told her, oh, just drink them, pressured her into drinking them. She drank them and did not wake up until 2 days later, back in her bed, had no
2 days later.
2 days later, had no idea how she got back in her bed. Hopefully she didn't waver in her testimony and was able to be credible as far as the jury was concerned.
Yeah, so it'll be interesting. I think that's probably why in a lot of cases where you have guilty perpetrators, you'll probably see them acquitted because, especially if they have a good attorney, it's easy to spin this kind of stuff around. So,
and he's got the best that money can buy right now.
Yep. So who knows? And I think that was a big part of the discussion. Will Bill Cosby walk or not?
I hope not.
Yep. Hopefully justice is served properly. Michelle sent an email and said, the weirdest thing happened last night. I woke up in the middle of the night because I heard my husband talking in his sleep. But he was talking in a different language that he doesn't speak.
What?
I'm not sure which language it was, but it wasn't one that I recognized, and it totally freaked me out. Has this happened to y'all?
We've talked about this before.
Sounds like a episode of the Weird and Whatever podcast. It's Michelle from Houston.
I think we've even talked about it on the KVJ show about stuff like that.
Yeah, we have a little bit. Yeah, we've dabbled on it a little bit. And there's some things like that just don't make sense. The one thing you don't know, it's possible they're speaking gibberish.
I also want to know, was there a head injury involved at all? Has he had a head injury in the last 2 years or so?
Yeah.
That could shake something loose, believe it or not.
Yeah, you're right. It does.
I didn't realize that that Savant special.
Traumatic brain injury. It does weird stuff.
Yeah, well, you have the people that wake up and they speak in the accent, but a lot of times that's just a speech impediment that comes off sounding like an accent. You know, to me, the stuff that's like completely mind-boggling is somebody that's never been exposed to Swahili, ever heard the language spoken or anything, and then all of a sudden, and they just start
It's amazing.
talking.
And you wonder if they're at that point, did they hit something in their head where they're able to pick things up at a rapid pace, kind of like a Rain Man, because that's what happened to him. Or I think he was born. I think he was born with the ability to look at something and go, okay, those are 11,000 whatever is on the ground. He was able to look at something and be able to photographically tell you what it was.
Yeah,
that's crazy.
Well, there's one thing maybe for your weird and whatever. I don't in the church. There is sometimes a thing, and they even reference it once in the Bible, called speaking in tongues. And it's just all of a sudden they believe it's like, the Spirit or the Holy Spirit, all of a sudden you can talk in a different language. And I know my mom had told me, because there are some churches that are, I don't know, they're real, where I grew up. Some of these churches are the ones in West Virginia that hold cobras and all that.
Yeah, they're dancing. Yeah, I've seen the videos.
What are you doing, man?
You should try to bring that to Christ Fellowship.
I don't think they're a snake wrangling church.
Walking with a couple cobras.
Because you do so well with snakes.
Yeah. Oh my! I'd be like, sorry, y'all.
What if Christ Fellowship came to you and said, "Look, Kev, we got this ministry. We want you to lead this for it." Pastor Sean asks you.
That ain't my calling.
Needs you.
Nah, we all got spiritual gifts.
You need to be a snake preacher.
That's not the gift. I'd speak to them like good old Christian back, and I'd be going, "It's not one of the gifts of my spirit."
They want him to do a preaching show on AM now, along with your sports show.
I wouldn't doubt it.
I'd listen to that too.
I keep waiting for the third show pitch.
The Bible show.
The Bible show.
That's almost why I haven't done another Godcast. I'm afraid they'd be going, "Hey, can we sell that? And would you do that full time too?" No, I'm really busy.
I need to sleep.
God just told me he doesn't want me to do it.
I think God would tell me, Kev, I really don't want you doing this show, man. And so, my mom had talked about even like some churches, because she grew up in West Virginia, and some of those are a little, I don't know what they call them, they're a little bit more like spiritual based, but she would talk about people speaking in tongues. And I always wondered, because unless you had somebody there that spoke the language, to validate that it is, because it could just be somebody's talking gibberish and they're going, "Oh, they must be speaking Swahili." You know, that's the only thing. But yeah, it's an interesting thing, because they do talk about it. Like there's stories of it in the Bible where they say they were speaking not gibberish, but they were just all of a sudden able to speak other languages.
I remember being a young kid at church, and this guy stands up and starts doing that, and no one ever did this at our church.
Yeah.
And he stood up. He's like, "Yeah, I'm praising." He starts doing all this stuff, and everyone's looking at him like, "What the fuck are you doing?"
I'd seen it on camera. There was somebody, because they were doing, I think it was they did like a 60-minute special on one of these like churches, and there was a guy that thought he was speaking in tongues, and he was just talking gibberish. He was just like, and they're like, "Oh, he's speaking in tongues," and I'm like, "There's no way that's a language on earth. There's no way." So, yeah, some of it might be legit. Some of it's probably like,
What are your thoughts on someone like a Benny Hinn? I don't know if you know who that is. He's that guy that heals people. And, and you're touched, and then like the person falls.
I think it's Benny Hill.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, Benny.
Different Benny.
Benny Hinn. He heals people, but he does it in front of these massive auditoriums, and someone will walk up, "I've got arthritis in my knee," and then he heals it. "Oh my gosh, I can walk!" And then the person's like moonwalking.
And he does
stage.
it while his theme's playing.
Those people are fake.
You think that's fake?
Yes.
I said you healed. Get up and walk away. And they walk real fast, like, "Oh," and they walk into a wall. And like, it's
Benny
the Benny Hinn show.
and Benny Hill come together.
I don't think it's the first time.
That'd be a great mashup.
What's your opinion? Do you think that's legit, or is that all for show?
I think a lot of them are for show.
I agree.
I
They're
think
fake.
a lot of them are, fake and for show. I don't want to say that it's not because, who knows? Because my mom, the first church that I went to when I was a kid, there was a preacher there that had apparently could do all they call it faith healing. And my mom swears that, I do remember when she was a real little kid, she used to wear one shoe was bigger than the other. She had, had that thing where she had one foot or one leg that was shorter than the other. And she swears that he prayed and her leg grew like right there. And then she never wore the shoes again.
So I think it's possible. I think there's not enough science to back it up to where it's really accurate and you can really zone in on it. I'm not saying it does not exist.
The leg grew?
You talk to my mom, she'll tell you that. I was too young. I was probably 5 or 6 when it went down. But I do, like my earliest memories, you have this foggy memory.
Yeah.
I do. I remember my mom had those shoes because I was always looking at me going, was it with you? And she would be like, I got one leg that's shorter than the other.
Yeah, I think we as humans don't understand it. I think people will act like they know why healing's going down, but maybe it's something where it's almost like a psychic ability where some people they're born with it.
There's power of the mind. There's a lot of things you don't understand. There's power of the mind that happens in these kind of things, and there's just a lot of stuff that we don't know. Some people have faith, and it's like, hey, if you believe it is the case, then that's all good by me.
Because to be a legit saint where you are a real saint, don't you have to be able to perform a type of miracle to get that title? Isn't that part of the Catholic Church, Virginia? You're Catholic.
Yeah, you're supposed to have a miracle, I believe. What if... is it rude if you go to that person that made one of your mom's legs grow and be like, look, my junk is really small. Can you make it grow?
I think desperate times require desperate. Yeah.
Is that bad? Because,
you probably have to have, if it's like, okay, why are you doing this? But there was that case, you ever heard of micropenis?
It's a real thing.
Yeah.
That guy deserves to have it grow.
He does.
And it's functional.
Right.
Like if it's like, and under the godly bonds of my marriage, I'm not able to get my wife pregnant because, when I'm hard, I'm
Functional
I'm
and
1 centimeter long. Yeah.
Just fun.
You better
Put
make
the
sure.
fun and functional.
And then I wonder, because they do everything in front of the whole congregation. Is that something they do? Like my mom was right there in front of the church when they did the whole leg thing, the leg trick.
Now, if they can do that in a church and make a guy's penis grow, I would be like, okay, you got me. I'm convinced.
But if you do have micropene, don't get down. Just make sure that tongue game is on point.
Well, you can't get down. It won't even droop. I think it just comes out like a button.
I mean, mentally, don't get down.
Oh, mentally.
Yes.
Okay.
Just make sure your tongue game is on point.
Yeah. I think if you had micropene, could you even jerk off?
Yeah.
Or would you need like tweezers?
You could jerk. You could probably rub it
you should never jerk off with tweezers.
Yeah, you could still come. You're still able to orgasm with a micropene. So yeah, you would just figure out whatever worked for you. I'd imagine a meshing down and then a circular motion.
Yeah, I wonder if
kind of
that-
almost like a clitoris.
Okay.
I would imagine that's what it would be like.
Okay.
I'd imagine. Talking a lot. I know a lot about micropene.
Yeah, you do. You've looked into this.
So yeah, I don't know. It's fascinating stuff. Somebody in the chat room said you need 5 miracles to be a saint. But there's a process.
Okay.
And I think that's more of a Catholic thing. I'm not real familiar
It is.
with
It's a Catholic. It's for sainthood.
Yeah.
Yeah. All I know is I ain't going to make it. That's all I know. Denise sent an email and wanted to get a little perspective here, especially from Virginia. Said my ex and I have been divorced for 10 years. We have 1 son together. He's on the verge of being 18. He spends 1 week with me and 1 week with dad. We live very close. When he's sick or something, I would text his dad and let him know that he is not going to school. And his dad usually does the same thing to me. But I got this dialer home today saying that he was not at school. Yeah, they'll leave like a voice message for you on your phone. Get that all the time.
Yes.
I freaked out thinking, oh my gosh, did he get in an accident or something because he drives now? So I finally got in touch with my son and he explained that he and his dad went to Pompano to celebrate a birthday and stayed in a hotel. His father said he didn't have to go to school. Do you think I'm out of line being angry at dad not texting me to let me know, or am I out of line?
I think both parents should always tell each other where the kid is going to be if the kid is off the regular schedule. You're not out of line for insisting on that, especially because the school called you and got you all upset and worried because you just assumed he was at school. I think your ex is wrong on this one, but if I was you, I wouldn't make a big, huge deal about it and get all mad at everybody and start yelling. I would just say, hey, I'm glad you guys were able to have this birthday celebration. I love that for you. I want that for you. Just, hey, next time you're going to do that, just give me a heads up so I know where he is. God forbid anything happens to anybody in our family. I need to be able to reach him.
Could you imagine people really handle their problems that way? Really calmly, and you said, this is how I feel. I want the best for you.
Now, really what you want to say to your ex, I know because I have one, is, you dumbass. Why the F didn't you just call me and tell me? Why would you get me all scared and freaked out?
Right.
You're a fucking idiot. That's what you want to say because they are. But you can't say that. You have to take a breath and realize, okay, their motives weren't to hurt you. Their motives were to have fun. And they're men, so they're dumb. They forgot to call you. So you got to breathe and you got to just say, okay, in the future, could you guys just tell me so I don't flip out and get all upset and start picturing a fiery car crash on 95 and our son dead?
It's a discussion she should be involved in, though, too. I
You
think.
always need to know where your kid is. If your kid's not in school, both parents need to know where exactly physically your kid is.
Well, I think you still need to parent, even if you're divorced, pretty much the same way as if you were together and stuff like that. I sprung Cannon one time for a spring training baseball game, and she knew.
Yeah.
So
You got to tell mom. You got to tell dad. Everybody's got to be cool.
Lee said, I have an extremely toxic family member. And basically the question, talking about all their awful traits, is I've got a 3-year-old and a 2-year-old son, and I want to go no contact. Is it wrong for me to completely cut this person off from my life and my son's life? It just sounds like, whenever they're around, it's toxic. The environment's awful. When they're not around, then everything's peaceful and fine. Do you see any reasons why Lee should not?
What I would do is I would speak to that relative from the heart and say, this is how I feel about this situation, and I'm about to not have any contact with you. And I wanted to at least give you a chance to get whatever you want off your chest and see if we can compromise and really lay it all out there. Give a full guerrilla effort, and then if it doesn't go well, then you have your answer. They're not willing to compromise, and sometimes you do have to get toxic people out of your life, even if they're blood related, because you can't have one person, you can't have one insect damage all of the grain.
You're right. And they will.
Yep.
That happens a lot of times in families where you have some person, and sometimes it's because, they're evil, but sometimes it's because they're unbalanced. And if you have one person ruining it for everybody, you got to just say, okay, I can't have this drama.
But it's very important for you to get it all off of your chest and speak with your heart, and don't let anything, leave it all out there so you can go to bed knowing I at least tried with every ounce. And then just, see what happens. Maybe that needs a little time to marinate in that person's brain. They may not get it right away. That's what I would do. I've dealt with this before, so I'm speaking from experience.
Yes, he is. Got this saying, I'm a couple days behind on the ATSP, but I heard you talking about the upcoming vacation, Jay Bird. I wanted to encourage you to go to Italy. A few years back, I went on a 7-day whirlwind vacation, but it was so worth it. I booked using a travel guide. The guide took the group to do the usual tourist sightseeing thing, Rome, Tuscany, Venice. Completely amazing pizza in Rome. I hope you go sometime. There is her own photo of the Colosseum, the ruins, or the Rome. Yeah,
That's beautiful.
It's beautiful. I might struggle there. Big structures.
Oh, yeah.
We drink a lot of the red wine. Isn't Italy known for the red wine?
Absolutely.
It is, yes.
They do. It looked like her price tag was $2,184.
That's what it was to go for what? How long? Like a week?
Yeah, a week.
I wonder if that includes all of the food and the lodging.
I don't know if it includes food. Depends probably upon what tour you do, but that would probably be above and beyond, I think.
So I think you could probably go have a cozy trip for a week in Italy, probably for $3,500, right? That's probably,
I'd say you're good.
Yeah.
Yep.
I don't know. I never looked into it. But there are packages and stuff you can look into where it combos your airfare and your hotel. And
Virginia wants me to go to Italy this year. I'm not going to Italy this year.
I want you to do something.
I'm going to Oregon.
When Kevin is in Israel, we all need to do something because we never go anywhere far.
My only concern is that we're going to miss a lot of shows for the people.
We wouldn't be gone the whole entire time that Kevin's gone, but we would go like 5 days.
What are your thoughts on that, Kev?
Maybe do like a Friday, Saturday, Sunday, Monday, Tuesday.
What do you think?
I think you guys do what makes you happy.
Okay.
Do what Kevin's doing. He's doing what makes him happy.
I hear you.
Yeah.
All right.
That's it.
We'll mull
You
it
can be
over.
happy too.
No, who's to say I'm not happy doing the show? I don't know if I really want to go to Italy this year anyway. What would you force me to go to Italy?
You should do something crazy.
Who would I go to Italy with? You want to go with me, Mama? Me and you to Italy? Might be a little weird.
I've already made plans for when Kevin goes to Israel. I'm going to go to California.
Cool.
I told
I'll
Magnolia.
go to Oregon.
Okay.
So you're telling me I should space that out when Kevin's going to Jerusalem?
I think you can go to Oregon when he goes to Jerusalem. I think that'd be awesome.
We're just going opposite directions.
I just think
We are.
Yeah. I'm going east. You guys are going west.
you still need to think about doing the Italy thing one day.
I agree. I'm definitely not. What am I even arguing right now? Yeah. Okay. What's the next email, Kevin? I do want to go to Italy, Virginia. It's not this year.
Got this from Leo. Said, hey guys, now you can put a sign on your map in Barranquilla, Colombia, home of Shakira and Sofia Vergara.
That's hot.
Yep, long-time listener, but 2 years ago I switched to the podcast to get all your shows and to help to make my workout fun. One time Jaybird was asking Kevin with whom he would like to spend the night with and have wild sex, and Kev said that he'd prefer to have Jaybird because the word in the street was that he has the smallest penis. And I almost fell from the treadmill. Everybody's asking what had happened. My loud laugh scared everyone.
The word on the street. It's a terrible word to have on the street, by the way.
Yes. My wife doesn't speak English, but she streams your show in her office computer every single day. The weird thing is that both of her assistants now listen to your songs, and now sometimes she understands what your daily topics are. We're teaching her English.
Look at that.
Slowly but surely. Boy, is she going to have an interesting version of English.
This week's word, micro penis.
We love you guys and our active followers. Keep up the great job, and hopefully one day we'll be able to visit. That would be fantastic. And hopefully when you do, I will be able to speak to you in Spanish. It'd be great if you could say hello to Viviana and Leo in Barranquilla. Enviado desde mi phone.
Viviana!
Yes. That'd be great. Got to get that Spanish down. Boy, I saw somebody Spanish last week. I was at Polo, and I gave it a quick little whirl, and it
How'd it
was
go?
disastrous.
Muy mal. Muy mal.
Yeah, I think my app's lying to him. I am not 43% fluent.
That is such bull. How do you say bullshit in Spanish? Yeah.
Whew, yeah. Oh, it's bad.
Those
Gosh.
apps claim to be, you're gonna be so great doing any of those apps. They're all. If it's $1 app, then it's shit, Kev. Was it $1?
No, I think you can do it free. I'm very confused because I had done Hootsuite, or not. It's not Hootsuite. It's whatever the name, Duolingo. And so I'd done it free forever, but I think the last time I tried to do it, it tried to get some money out of me. So
Be careful.
And I thought I paid something. Maybe I did, maybe I didn't. And I was talking to a friend of mine going, no, I get it for free. I'm like, yeah, I used to. What the hell's going on? I don't know. Very confused. A lot of things, obviously, I'm not getting in life.
There's sneaky apps and stuff too because they get Magnolia a lot of times. It says free, and then so you do it, but it's not really free. Like after the free little trial period is up, then they start billing your credit card that's linked up to your iTunes account.
Well, because you need the coins to get the player to be the next level. Because if it's not at the next level, you can't compete. You're right. They get you. It's like a drug dealer.
It really is.
Just take a hit of this, man. You'll love it.
Be careful with those free apps.
This one's free.
Nothing's free in this world.
Got Michelle here from West Kendall said, hey, so I remember that Virginia gave Kevin for Christmas some old tapes when the show first started. Are you guys planning on playing those again? Would love to hear some vintage Kevin and Virginia craziness. Anyways, keep doing what you're doing. You make my hour and a half commute so much more enjoyable.
Yeah, there's a technical reason why we have not got those out yet, and Denny's has to explain it. But yeah, there's a reason why. It's not lost.
Yeah.
But we need a piece of equipment, I believe.
Okay. So we're still top of mind, just not there quite yet. Got this from Jesse. Said, hey, I was listening to your After the Show podcast today, and I wanted to share my grilled cheese secret. I love burnt cheese. Not sure if you guys share the same passion. After the grilled cheese is done, I cut it in half, and I put the cheese exposed, cut in half, part down on the pan while it is still on hot. All right, there you go. And she said, Jason, I love New York grilled cheese. It's worth the pilgrimage. Do it.
Yeah, I definitely want to go. I haven't had bread all week. It's the first time I've done that, and I can't remember.
Look at you.
Day 5 of no bread, no sweets other than the M&Ms on Monday night, and I have been drinking nothing but fucking water. I'm really on edge.
So if you do no bread for a little while, you can start reintroducing a little bit of carbs. Just don't go crazy and don't go completely carb free, because then when you do eat a little bit of carbs, you're going to instantly gain a lot of weight from it. That's what I'm learning at Quick Weight Loss. Mm-hmm. You have to do a little moderate of everything, but mostly vegetables and moderate protein.
I fasted yesterday.
You did?
I did. Well, I was at the doctor's for a while, or the dentist for a while.
Yeah.
It took forever. I was at the dentist sitting in, it was a new dentist. I sat there in the lobby, and it's like an hour. I go, hey, I'm in. They go, oh, sit down, we'll be with you. I'm sitting down for an hour, and all of a sudden, my phone is ringing. I'm like, what the hell is this? It's the dentist. I hear, hey, Jason Pennington, this is, give us a call if you want to reschedule your appointment. You missed your appointment.
I'm in the lobby.
I'm in the fucking lobby. I did. I was in the lobby. It was like a 4-hour visit.
Oh, my gosh.
Yeah.
That is annoying.
Because I was sitting there the entire time. I could have done my paperwork.
Yeah.
When they figured out I was sitting right there, they go, oh, okay, here's your paperwork now. And they took me another 20 minutes to do the paperwork. Then they got me in. Then I was in the rotation.
I would have been livid.
Internally, I was livid.
I'd have been gone.
Yeah, I know.
I would have walked out.
I thought about it.
I'd have been like, y'all don't have your shit together.
Right when I was
peace.
Right when I was about to walk, like I was getting ready to. Mr. Pennington, we're ready for you. I'm like, oh fuck, I'm here.
Yeah.
If they're that crappy at the paperwork, they're probably crappy at the dental part too. I'd be really careful going to a place that's so shitty run.
I hear you. Well, it's too late now. I went.
Yeah.
How's your teeth?
Good.
What did you get done?
I was a new patient. I got them cleaned. And that's pretty much all
That's
I did.
it?
That's why. That's
4 hours?
That's all I did.
Oh, they are terrible.
Well, they had to take my X-rays and do all that stuff. It was a consultation and
X-rays take 5 minutes.
I know. I know.
Jaybird, this place is not good. I'd be moving on.
Maybe I will.
Got Eric here from Sunrise, giving himself a little 26th birthday shout out.
Happy birthday.
Also, just a random question. Whatever happened to Barbara? It's been a long time since we've heard from her.
She was barred from the show, and Ann was very serious about that. And she legit said, I don't want her ever on the radio again. I don't want you to talk about her. I don't want you to bring her up. I'd never want Barbara ever brought up again.
And Ann's in charge. If Ann says no Barbara, Barbara's dead to us.
Well, it really bothered Ann. Like it was to the point where it's not going to even be worth even bringing it. Or not. We can bring it up right now, but I'm talking about making a bit out of it on the air. She just said no more.
Barbara ain't family.
Well, I think Barbara's younger than Ann. I think Barbara's got a lot more energy than Ann, and I think Barbara is bored, and Barbara wanted to
make trouble.
I think Barbara, it was a sport for her.
Yeah, she's having fun.
And I think people thought it was cute. Mm-hmm. Oh, I'm funny. People like me.
It kind of reached its end.
It did, totally.
Mm-hmm. Nothing about her is cute.
Yeah, I
just for the record.
I've never liked Barbara. Neither has my family.
Well, if you don't like her, I don't like her.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I'm with you.
And a quick shout out to Engineer Keith. He said, this is how it feels to listen to the podcast. Just a nice little intimate thing. It's a boy staying there who is sitting next to a photo of 3 attractive girls, and he's just like one of the girls. Look at that.
I wonder if I've ever met Engineer Keith.
Don't know.
Seems like a nice dude.
Seemed very smart, yes. Very smart. So.
Oh, I mean, he's got engineer in his name.
You're right.
Yeah.
They don't just hand that out.
No. Do they? I thought they did. I don't know. Maybe I'm wrong.
You got to earn that one.
That's right, you do. That's right, you do. All right. Thank you all for tuning in. Have an amazing weekend. Hope to see you guys out and about somewhere. If not, we'll see you back here on Monday. Goodbye.
Cleveland Clinic, Florida provides individualized treatment plans for excellent outcomes of health problems, ranging from the most common to the most complex, even in cases considered untreatable by others. Cleveland Clinic, Florida. Every life deserves world-class care.